Ah yes, the Electronic Entertainment Expo. The yearly event that fuels rumors and causes speculation to run wild within the video game community. What are the big three going to announce at this year's E3? Right now, it's anybody's guess, but E3 is the time of year where we can either get hyped for another chapter in gaming, or the whole event can be a colossal failure. You're watching GamerBrain, and today we're counting down the top 10 E3 predictions and announcements to get excited for. Number 10. Batman Arkham Insurgency. So guys, right off the bat, this game is set to be announced at E3 after a Warner Brothers employee posted confirmation of the game's existence in an online post that, as of the making of this video, has since been deleted. From what we gathered though, Insurgency is another prequel set after the events of Batman Arkham Origins, and the game will take place just 2 years after Batman first teams up with his lovable sidekick Robin. The story of the game will reportedly be based off of author Scott Snyder's Court of Owls story arc from the Batman comic book series, which will see Bruce Banner in a battle with an Illuminati-style force that lurks deep within Gotham. I've loved pretty much every release in the Arkham series of video games, and this one looks to be no different, so it's pretty safe to say that I'm excited for this one. Number 9. SNES Classic Edition. Nintendo caught a lot of hate a few months ago for discontinuing production of the NES Classic Edition, but even though I was lucky enough to get my hands on one, there really is no question to me that we'll no doubt see a follow-up to the successful $50 console. A Super NES Classic Edition makes tons of sense to me at this point, considering that the Super Nintendo was even more popular than the NES, and as far as sales go, Nintendo has nothing to worry about. Nintendo has already figured out the formula on how to release a classic console and sell tons of units to the consumer, so the SNES Classic seems like something we'll definitely be getting in the future. The big question here though is what games will be included. Hopefully the list includes classics like Super Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Country, and Super Mario World, but let me know down in the comments what games you'd like to see on an SNES Classic Edition if it gets announced at E3. Number 8. Pokemon Stars. The first home console Pokemon experience has been something that fans have been hoping for ever since the Nintendo Switch was first announced a few months back, and now that it's out, fans have been speculating a new release in the series for the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo also factored in some clips of a new Pokemon title into their Nintendo Direct live streams a few months ago, so fans are getting even more hyped for what's to come in the future. Pokemon Stars has been rumored to be the Nintendo Switch version of Pokemon Sun and Moon for the 3DS, and based off how incredibly well those games reviewed and sold, it's definitely a possibility that we'll see a release in the Pokemon series for the Switch. A Nintendo Switch edition of Pokemon Sun and Moon would only need overhauled graphics, so basically the structure of the game is perfect for home console play. Time is only going to tell, but if you tack on some of the elements of Pokemon Go, Nintendo Switch owners might get a Pokemon game unlike any they've ever seen before. Number 7. Bloodborne II. Sony surely already has some big titles to announce at E3, but Bloodborne 2 is one that I'm definitely hoping gets announced. Fans are desperate to hear more about a sequel to the popular PS4 exclusive, and it really doesn't hurt to see more Sony exclusives for the PlayStation 4. A developer commented on an online thread entitled, "Do you think we'll see Bloodborne 2 at E3?" and Moon Studios' Thomas Maller left a reply that is sure to get fans excited. He claimed that he's 99% sure that we'll see the game announced at E3, so for fans of the series, this is definitely a title that you should be getting ready for. Number 6. Super Smash Bros. Nintendo Switch. Nintendo has no question been banking on the idea of HD re-releases for some of their many fan-favorite franchises, and let's be quite honest, this business model has paid for itself 100 times over. As was the case with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch, which came out not too long ago, and has quickly become one of 2017's best-selling games thus far. So when you think about what other titles Nintendo has released on the Wii U, while they have tons of choices, a Smash Bros. Re-release for the Switch seems like a no-brainer. The Switch already has some pretty cool games coming out during its first year on the market, but add in a few new characters and some extra content, and this game is one fans can get excited for. The real question will be whether the first Smash Bros. Game on the Switch will be a brand new release, or a remaster, but at this point the re-release option seems more likely given the time frame. That is, assuming the announcement is made at E3, and for now it's just a prediction, but definitely something that Smash fans can be excited for in the future. Number 5. Xbox Scorpio. Last year, Microsoft announced not one, but 2 new pieces of hardware in the form of the Xbox One S and Project Scorpio. While the Xbox One S has already been released, Project Scorpio meanwhile is looking like it'll be a much more major upgrade and definitely heat up the console marketplace. Microsoft is promising it'll bring native 4K gaming to consoles for the first time ever. With Project Scorpio due out at the end of this year, we expect it to be a big part of Microsoft's presentation this year at E3. And some interesting details have been announced, such as a screen on the front displaying frame rate information and much more. I also wouldn't be surprised to see some 4K remasters or games announced specifically for the Scorpio, but to put it simply, the Xbox Scorpio might change the landscape of home consoles if it can be a big enough upgrade to the original Xbox One. Only time is going to tell, but this is definitely an announcement that I'm looking forward to. Number 4. EA's lineup. If the past is any indication, at this year's E3, we're gonna see Electronic Arts fire off their usual announcement of sports games to be released later in the year. That means we'll see the likes of NHL 18, NBA Live 18, Madden 18, and EA UFC 3, and of course you know the rest. If you're not a fan of sports titles though, we can definitely bet on a new entry in the series of Star Wars games released by EA, especially with The Last Jedi hitting theaters this December. As far as EA is concerned, we should surely see their flagship titles announced, and I wouldn't be surprised if they also had a new IP under their sleeve. For sports game fans, it's definitely the time of year to be excited with E3 right around the corner, and if you're looking for a new IP from EA, then you just might get it at E3. Number 3. Far Cry 5. What's interesting to me about the Far Cry series is that with Far Cry Primal, the developers pretty much showed that no matter where the series takes place, the main game will still feel like the same old Far Cry we know and love. Although with Far Cry Primal the series opened up a world of possibilities as to where the franchise can go, one rumor that's been floating around the internet is that the series will take place in a Wild West type setting, similar to that of Red Dead Redemption. If the rumor that Far Cry 5 is a Wild West game is confirmed though, then we give thanks to the reliable source from Ubisoft's advertising team that claimed he's working on another advertisement for a game that showed the Western setting. He was asked about the project recently, and he claimed that it was a sequel to an existing franchise. That quote certainly leads me to believe that it's a new entry in the Far Cry series, and being a big fan of the games, I'm definitely excited for Far Cry 5. Number 2. Shenmue 1 and 2 Remaster. The long-awaited sequel to the open world series from Sega was announced late last year as an exclusive to the PS4. But for E3 2017, fans can possibly expect to see a new trailer for the third release in the series, as well as the possibility of a remaster of the first two games being released. It wouldn't surprise me to see some sort of collection released so that gamers can get up to speed on the storyline if they've never played an entry in the series. Adding to that, earlier this year the domain names for Shenmue HD and Shenmue Remaster were both registered, furthering the speculation that this remaster of the previous two games is going to happen sometime in the near future. With Shenmue 3 being released later this holiday season, it wouldn't surprise me to see the older games re-released very soon. Alright, so there was a couple of announcements and predictions to get excited for, but let's take a look at some honorable mentions before we get to number 1. Number 1. Assassin's Creed Origins. Buzz for this game appeared way back in January, but fans can be pretty certain that a new Assassin's Creed game is going to be announced in the form of Assassin's Creed Origins. These screenshots were leaked on an online forum, suggesting that story-wise, if the details are true, we'll be getting a prequel that delves into the formation of the Templars and the Assassin Order, which would put our character all the way back in ancient Egypt. The Ubisoft developer who was questioned about the game said the time period offered the team a large amount of freedom to experiment with weapons, items, clothing, and more. Taking the Assassin's Creed series back in time even farther than it's already been seems like a logical next step, and this is a game that you can look out for at E3 if all the details are true. Alright guys, and there you have it. There is 10 predictions and announcements to get excited for at this year's E3. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, as well as leave a comment while you're down there. Let us know some ideas for a new video. Who knows, your idea might just be featured in one of our upcoming videos. If you enjoy the content that we've been putting out for the past few weeks, please hit that subscribe button as well. All the support really helps out a lot. Anyways guys, I appreciate you sticking around to the end. This is Tyler from GamerBrain, and I'll catch you in the next one.